Hey, welcome to Time for Healing. I'm your host, Marion Porter, and last episode there we had Deborah Ravenwood talking about emotional archaeology, and I decided we needed to have another show, so here we are. Without further ado, Deborah Ravenwood, we're having you back. Look at this.
Hey, I think it was a good way to segue into another show with you deciding that you wanted to come and do an actual session.
Yeah.
Would you like to share a little bit about what made you do that?
Well, the show was so compelling and it just sounded so, my God, I've got to try this. I really need to try this. So, yeah, I came in, we sat, we talked. You mixed up a little bit of love there, and off I went, and I got to tell you, it changed everything.
Awesome.
It changed everything.
Awesome. So how would you feel about going ahead and kind of using this like what a follow-up session would be after you've taken the essences and
absolutely.
People could see, hey, this is how it works.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, what I usually do with someone is I'm going to come in and you can tell me basically how you're feeling. And one of two things happens. We know that it could be a very quick thing that happens to you, that your vibration could come into balance really quickly. It could also be so subtle that you're going, no, I feel really good. Everything's going good, but you don't remember exactly what was out of balance because everything's in sync. So we tend to go through what the essences were, what they were for, and then you're going to give me some feedback about I'm doing that, I'm not doing it anymore, how I feel.
Yeah,
okay?
Absolutely.
So when I opened up that magic cabinet that you like to refer to.
Oh my God, that was the greatest thing in the world. Can I just say?
Sure.
Legit, she's got this giant cabinet and she opens it up. Vials and vials. It was like 10,000 vials.
265.
Right? 10,000 vials. And you just, like in the movies, put them all out, put it together, gave it to me in a spray bottle, and I took them.
There you go. So what we started to do was we had a conversation about what felt like it was out of balance or what was up. And some of it was intuitive, like sitting there in your presence and kind of reading your energy field and knowing this is how it feels.
Yeah.
And then you are either going to let me know that that's feels true to you or there's an agreement that that's going on. Because at the end of the day, it's about you feeling that what I'm suggesting to you is something that actually makes sense to you.
Yeah.
And so that teaching part of it is really important. The first one we talked about was, and you'll remember from the first show, was you're feeling like Sasquatch.
Yes, my body
feeling
image.
like this. Your body image was all off. And we were talking about crabapple dealing with embarrassment, feeling embarrassed about the way that you look, the way that you move, how you come across, any of those, and how that actually gets held in your body over time. So I will share that I saw you maybe a week or so after
we were
came in at an event, and I have to say myself, you look like a whole new person. You walked in with a different sense of confidence. How did you feel?
Well, different sense of confidence. It's confidence. Because I'm trying to think, okay, what am I going to say on this show? I would have to say confident is like the operative word. I'm glad you said that. Normally, I don't like big gatherings. Normally, I, try to stay to the edges. I went right in. I saw friends. I interacted. I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't feel that, oh my God, people are looking at me.
Oh, you were standing right out there. You just walked right in like, hi, everyone.
Yeah, and I've been feeling like that lately. I mean, I wish we could play back all of my shows because my voice, I have more of a voice than I think I've ever had.
That's an integral part of this work, and we can share some of that later. You'll be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, it's huge. It's really huge. The second one we went into was Boudelja, which you love the name.
Boudelja.
It sounds great.
That's my new first name.
Kinder and gentler way of being with yourself. This is when you're hard on yourself, you're a little overly critical. things that you really don't need to be. It allows you to balance out that feeling like you've got to criticize yourself.
Yeah. Now that's interesting because it's changed. I literally, right down to like the washcloth I use. Oh no, no, that's scratchy. I want a beautiful, fluffy
I love
washcloth.
it.
But seriously,
Yes, I
right
love
down
it.
to
Yes,
that.
yes.
Right down to toilet paper, I changed it too. I did. No, because the basic
Yeah.
needs. Because I sat and I journeyed a little bit with all of this stuff, and well, this is live right now.
Yeah.
This is thoughts I hadn't thought before, but I'm glad that we're doing this. In thinking about how I take care of myself, it brought me back to my childhood and my feelings of my mother, and I can take care of myself the way I wished my mother had taken care of me.
See,
Wow.
isn't that brilliant?
And
Now,
that is something.
yeah.
These are the first I'm saying these words, but
Yeah.
this is what it boils down to: is I don't have to be sad because this wasn't done for me. I can do
You're
this
saying it
for
all.
me.
You're saying
Yeah.
it all. This is the key to it, if you remember back, has to do with the peeling of the onion, that emotional archaeology, finding the treasures along the way to get to that core
Yeah.
wound. So if that core wound, without getting too heavy into it,
Yeah.
is mom didn't do for me what I thought a mother could or should be,
Yeah.
and it had a core wound for me. The Boudelja has brought that into, that's a true statement, but I don't have to live from that.
Right.
I can take care of
can
myself.
and
That's
I
the
never
idea.
put that together, but that's what I started doing, and I actually started sharing stuff like that with some of my own clients. More of the lines of the basic ways that we take care of ourselves. I'm not gonna put
I love it.
tight socks on.
love
I'm
it.
not gonna. Oh my God, I can get dressed in 10 minutes. No, I'm giving myself time to slow down.
And do you know how much that, it has an overreaching effect. It's that one little thing, it's how you do you, but then once you change how you're doing you,
nurturing. I'm
Yes,
nurturing myself.
yes, and
I'm
then
nurturing myself.
you then can pass that along because you live by that example and it changes everything.
Yeah.
Your third one was grounding essence.
I think,
Okay?
well, that might be with my voice.
This is the
I'm
come into
here.
your center, I'm here. Well, that's a couple of the ones that we were giving you were the I'm
Yeah.
here. So that grounding comes in and allows you to really feel yourself be present.
Yeah, and I am. I am occupying space. And I never really felt. I'm not gonna lie. We were listening to the show on the way up, and I almost wanted to vomit when I heard myself. I'm like, who is that spineless person?
You're being a little tough on yourself.
Well, but here's where we're at.
Yes.
Because that's the thing.
Yeah.
Not tough, because what's coming out now is a decisiveness. Yeah, this is it. Like that's interesting. It almost feels like I need a flower to tame that one down.
Well, and
because I'm here and I'm seeing things and I got stuff to say.
so remember,
settle down.
That's another part of it, because that's the peeling the onion effect, that now that I'm doing this, I go to the next step. And sometimes we do have to tone that down because we're not used to it. So it's not about it being wrong or too overly this or too overly that, but we've got to get used to it. We've got to get used to hearing the sound of our own voice.
Here. Listen to my there's like depth to my voice.
That's right.
I think it was all like higher pitched.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm louder. I literally feel like I'm here.
Well, you're projecting your voice in a way that shows that centeredness, that groundedness.
That's so cool. You heard it here first. Listen to this voice. The sprays.
The spray. Babies of Light. Babies of Light had to do with when you have the question, not so much what most of us have is, why am I here? What am I here to do? This is the where do I fit in thing. And it's very different, because when you come in to this planet, to this vibration, some people are born and they never feel like they quite belong here.
Yeah.
They just don't. Part of it can be their upbringing, absolutely, the environment, and part of it just is that they come in with a vibration that's never kind of fully come into its own. Babies of Light allows you to kind of reset that vibration,
And I
which
feel
might
that
be
happened.
part of it.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
see where that feeling that where do I fit in is coming also through your voice. This is where I fit in. This is what I'm doing for everyone. This is what I'm here to become, to do. So it all fits in. The whole feeling of where do I fit in, you're getting clearer. I am a healer.
Yeah.
I am here to do this. I have this value, and I love that. Linden was also the reset. That was the one, and I do have to mention the age because it works for a very particular age group, the 50 plus. Why? Because we were born on the planet when the planet was doing a very specific vibration, okay? And it's really been changing amazingly.
Oh my God, this past week.
So what it did was it allowed us to kind of vibrationally reset so that we could take on the changing energies of the planet without it being that disruptive. I mean, when I took it personally, I wasn't getting the stuff that so many people were saying, oh my God, I'm so out of sync. I felt fine. And you're probably going to notice that some disruptions or things that happen that maybe other people are reacting to, you will have the response of balance.
You know, that's interesting. That's just because one of the things I've noticed, I would have emotional spikes, like my reactions to things, and I have noticed since almost the get-go, probably since I first sat in front of you, probably from just you alone, you probably are most of those flowers to begin with. I feel like I don't need to fit in wherever I am. Whatever I'm doing is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm at home no matter what I'm doing.
Well, that is awesome, because I'll tell you, I redid my website because I wanted it to really reflect who I've become over the last couple of years. And one of the key phrases that I incorporated in there that I felt that was imperative was come home to yourself.
I feel I've done that.
And that's what you're reflecting to me. The idea at the end of all the emotional archaeology, at the end of all the personal process, what are we really doing? We're coming home to ourselves. What you felt when you sat with me, that you felt that comfort, that home thing, was that there's a listening without any judgment. When I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to you from more of a, this is out of balance, let's look at it. And this can be done, and this is how we do it. And the idea of getting agreement with what essences you're going to do is, again, not because I'm telling you and I know it all, but it's about, does it make sense to you? And when it does, the second we have that agreement, that vibration has already shifted from nobody hears me, nobody listens to me, I can't speak out and be heard, to somebody just sat with me without judgment, let me say what I needed to say, reflected back maybe another viewpoint, another perspective, and I get it now.
Yeah, yeah. And just back to what I was saying, because I think that it's not just that whatever I'm doing, I'm here, and I'm not having like conflicting emotions with what I'm doing.
Beautiful.
It's not like, it's like I'm here and this is what I'm supposed to be doing, not what do they think about me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like
that's reflecting
it's
back again on the crab apple.
Knowing. I have a knowing, which is refreshing. It's just it's making me come off a little bit like, this is how things are to go now.
Now we're going to give you some Vine, which is, the my way or the highway idea.
Yeah,
if we get a little too viney, which says, hey, this is it. But the vine in a balanced state is the leader. That's the person that is going to tell you what needs to get done in a way that's concise and clear and can be heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so part of me wants to let me grow into this a bit, see if I just can't settle it down, because this is something that I wasn't.
So remember,
I was wishy-washy.
So remember that our conversation that we're having right now is actually balancing what you just said. As soon as I told you, hold on, vine is the thing that you can be the leader, but do it from this way.
Because you are vine in a way,
You're there.
aren't you? Aren't you all these flowers?
So
there's a presence off of you. I swear, there's a presence. I'm feeling.
I think what I can do is when I'm speaking, I can send the vibration of what the flower is to you, or get the point across in the vibration of how I speak.
I'm feeling it.
That's what I mean. We've made that connection.
Yeah.
You don't feel judged by me saying you're saying my way or the highway, because there's no judgment there. What it's saying is, when you're in balance, you're the leader, you get your point across. When you're swinging too much the other way, you're now going to it's my way or the highway, and you're not listening. You want the best of both worlds in there. You want to listen and still be heard. That's key. That's very key.
I'm just psyched that I feel this way.
I'm
I don't
happy
think I
that
ever
you tried
have.
them, because the idea of people being able to find their voice is just pivotal to me.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll share with you when we were talking about the book at the end, is finding your voice. You also took golden armor. Everybody in the world, by the way, needs that, because it's for all the electromagnetic fields, cell phone, blah, 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 because they all kind of mess with our vibration.
Yeah.
You were talking about having an experience of some pain in your back. So we used bone set and kangaroo paw, which have to do with whenever you're upset and you hold it in and you're internalizing it, it goes in your back almost like an explosive effect. And it can cause pain in your back. And that's just being overloaded from doing this other stuff. So I'm hoping that with you finding your voice, you're probably not having the back pain.
I'm not, because I mean, I can do this, and that just sort of stopped, And it wasn't actually until the other day I was saying, my back hasn't hurt me in a while, because I was doing something that hurt my back. I was doing a lot of lifting for a couple of hours of something. Sometimes you got to help people move and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I had tweaked my back, in this reality, spiritual reality. It could have meant anything. And so my back does not hurt.
Well, remember, we're not ignoring the physical here, because the physical does land up because of the emotions behind it. But if you're walking around crabapple, Sasquatch, this, you're already throwing your back off. If I remember correctly, at the end of the session, you got up like a whole different person.
I did. You
literally got off the couch.
And that was a very comfy couch. It wasn't, I had to.
There weren't arms. You had to get right up. Yeah.
And my body had to be working for me, and it did.
Yeah. And it can work that quickly. Okay, on some ways. And the last one that we used was osteospermum. And that's your spiritual backbone, your ability to say what you believe in and say it in such a way that it does not get really overpowering, but it also rebalances all the kundalini of all the chakras.
Well, I have a tendency to lean to the right, and I've noticed that I've been able to be more like my vertebrae separated, not just like just getting right into it, and it's not hurting.
Sure, because if you're holding in, say, we'll use your mother thing a little bit, you're not feeling that comfortable with yourself, all this stuff condenses and brings us into this. And then if I'm not sure I fit in here, you're doing it more.
Yeah.
Well, this is very condensed into the spinal column. When you use bone set to let go of some of the emotion around that, the kangaroo paw, what you see yourself do is this.
Yeah.
Then the osteospermum, because it's balancing all the energy there, literally creates that space in the backbone that you feel. So then all of a sudden we bring ourselves into this.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it feels.
Good.
It's amazing. We're at 9 minutes,
so
I
you're
want to
feeling,
make sure we cover everything.
Sure. So what I would say then is you're feeling like it worked well for you.
I know it worked. I'm not feeling, I know.
And I'm happy to hear you say that. So the key elements are bringing yourself into balance. We peel the onion. Okay, you find out maybe I'm being a little overpowering. How do we rebalance that? And
overpowering, that's it.
Overpowering.
That's it. That's it right there. See, you know the words.
Well, don't forget, I'm also reading all of your energy field at the same time.
Man. I totally dig you.
It helps to be able to read your energy field, so I'm just kind of rolling off your stuff too. And then personal process.
Mm.
What did you learn from it? What did you get out of it? This is the next step of what emotional archaeology is about. So when we clear out all the emotional debris, what are we left with? We're left with our authentic self.
Yeah.
So my personal process led me to write Silence.
Oh, good.
Because
Yes,
this
yes.
is the memoir. So while it's intense, because a lot of intense things occurred, what I wanted to share with you was what I thought was very fitting at the end. That kind of sums up, and watch when I read it and all the things you said get reflected in here.
I can't wait.
From my perspective, emotions are akin to our lifeblood. When they are out of balance, we become out of sync, unable to clearly express our potential. In clearing away the emotional debris caused by the abuse and ridicule I experienced as a child, I began to reclaim my voice.
Yo.
As a healer, it grew stronger as I was able to affirm my beliefs and express who I am more fully. I accepted my originality rather than seeing myself as an outsider, and I moved beyond the limitations imposed by others that I had wrongly accepted as my truth. Let that one sink in. Did you say a few of that?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Writing Silence, I've come full circle. I'm now able to openly acknowledge my boundless potential. Mine is a labor of love, a reflection of my dedication to my practice as a healer, to embrace my commitment to help others, to heal the wounds that keep them from knowing and trusting themselves fully.
Wow.
To stand vulnerable in the light, not in the darkness, and to share my story has given me peace and a greater understanding of myself and those who share the path of my life. From within the silence, these stories are shared openly in the fervent hope that you too will strive to reclaim the power and strength of your own signature sound, your voice.
Whoa.
That's why I wrote it. That's the end result.
And that's my most marked character is I have a bigger voice. There's a range to my voice. It's not like I'm being choked and not like I was ever choked, but like my words choked.
Well,
out
they were
of
choking
me.
out of you.
Yeah.
So could you imagine me as a wallflower? I hardly spoke at all. When I started doing the work to become a healer, there was a lot of personal process work that you had to do, because if you weren't going to do that, you could not become the clear channel that I've become to be able to read your human energy field the way that I do. So once I did that, I had to go through all the things that I had blocked off and never looked at. And the more I did it, the more the voice came through. And after this one, I'm telling you,
Wow.
I love my life. People say, "Hey, I want to retire and do the work I love or whatnot." Moi, I'm doing the work I love, and I'm happy you're on the journey.
Well, I gotta tell you something that was really neat that happened is I saw you, I think it was like a Monday night, right? I think it was a Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night.
It was a Monday night. And I think it was probably Wednesday night. I got a call about a car dealership wanting to buy back my car.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, well, surely you jest. I don't think that this deal would work. But they said, no, come down. Do you know it worked? I don't want to say too much about my car or where I went, but I got a brand new car for pretty much $1 more than the regular payments I was making on my other car. Now, if that's not something, I mean, that was like a few days after these sprays. I don't want to say the sprays did it, but what are the odds of someone calling me and saying, hey, you want a brand new car?
Well, what happens is you start really resonating your worth. Like you said, I'm going to go out and buy better toilet tissue. I'm going to use a washcloth that feels comfortable to me. I'm going to feel comfortable in my life and radiate out there. And, out comes this other thing towards you. You could have said yes or no, but in fact, it happened. You chose it. You're happy.
Yeah.
This is how it works. This is the way it works. It's what your vibration switches to.
Yeah, and it's my vibration is completely switched.
Oh yeah. You want to know for sure, watch the first show, listen to her voice,
Well, I
and
was
then listen
listening
to
to
you
it.
now.
Oh my God! Listen, have you ever heard my voice sounding like this before? I have one.
We're there. We're there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And here's the thing. One of the things that I came up with at the very end of it too was to say that this is our time, and our voices together are going to sound in unison, and it will move throughout time because vibration moves through time. So what we come into now, what we say, how we believe in ourselves is going to just radiate out to not just us, but to the world and beyond. So it's awesome work.
Oh, I forgot to say one thing too. So in working with my body, I said to my body, well, what is it that we can do to maybe lose weight, to have me feel... My body responded. I bought a little trampoline.
Oh, Rebounder.
My body wanted...
Those are great.
My body wanted to run, and have you seen me ever stand up, people? I can't run. I'm just too much of me to run. But that's the action my body wants. I got a rebounder. I've been running.
You know why
I've
it
been
works?
running on that.
Rebounders, right? Rebounders, the whole action of a rebounder is that when you're bouncing, it vibrates your cells. If it's vibrating your cells, then your lymphs clean out, everything kind of cleans out, and you're changing the whole vibration of your body. So bravo on picking up on
the
that.
the sprays
And
again.
those.
The
And those.
sprays again, because I wouldn't have thought to do that.
No.
That's a lot to have to do, hopping and skipping and jumping on a trampoline.
That's your straightening out your back.
Yeah.
All right, letting go of that pain. The biggest one is that Budelsha, which allowed you to be kinder and gentler to yourself, value who you are.
And to listen to my body.
Without judging
What can we do?
And
it just turned out that, it didn't cost an awful lot of money to get the trampoline. And it's fun.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
I have fun.
I put on the 90s dance music.
There you
It's all
go.
jumpy and I'm loving it.
So you're changing your life with
yes.
emotional archaeology.
Yeah,
and
I got nothing else to say other than I had an extremely positive experience with this, and I bow to you, Deborah Ravenwood, because you're doing really good work out there.
Thank you.
To take a personal challenge, bring it to a strength, and then to lead others, it's amazing. And it's an honor not only to have you on my show, but to consider you a friend. I am in appreciation of all you being do.
I appreciate that, because reciprocity is an awesome thing to do, but I also want to say bravo for doing the work.
Far out. Yeah, there we are. Well, thank you for watching another episode of Time for Healing. We'll see you again with another fantastic show. Tally ho.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.